day to you. Welcome to this short Addsure explainer on the letter of advice. My name is Mike Addison and I represent Addsure, sectional title insurance specialists, authorized financial services provider FSP 15269. So as I said, this is going to be an explainer on the letter of advice and renewal documentation. Just to let you know, more information is available on our website, www.addsure.co.za. There's quite a few resources and articles for you to find there. And more importantly, you can also download our booklet, which I'm going to allude to. So you just click through to the community schemes part of the website. You've probably received this. You've probably clicked through from the video explainer link below in receiving your documentation. And you can also see here that there is a sectional title guide link. Please feel free to click on that, and we make reference to some of the advice processes within the booklet. Okay, so our approach to your letter of advice, and if you've been seeing all of these documents arrive in your email box, please don't be daunted. We've made it very simple. All you need to do is really focus on the letter of advice at the top of what we call the pyramid or the triangle. If you look at the letter of advice, I'm going to show you now, it actually has links that clicks through to detailed advice. And then the renewal pack is one of the sets of documents which has got more details, which also has links to more information. And then the sectional title insurance guide, the booklet that I had you look at just now, underpins all of the advice. It's sort of the broader based advice process. Okay, so really have a look at the booklet. It's really got quite a lot of reference in it. Okay, in the booklet on page 12, we go into more detail about the advice. You see the Financial Advisory and Intermediary Services Bill actually sets out what brokers should be doing in terms of their written advice. There's a whole lot of stuff here, but in a summary format, the broker must maintain a record of advice and must provide a brief summary of the information and the material on which the advice was based, the financial products that were considered, and of course, with a recommendation explaining why the product or products selected are likely to satisfy your needs. Then most importantly, you have to be provided with a copy of the advice in writing. And this must happen annually. We're very proud of our letter of advice because it complies fully. So it's really the LOA. So if you look at the LOA document, you really start with that. You have a look at it. It covers buildings, fidelity, and liability cover. The three most important areas are covered. It tells you on which, tells you a little bit more about it with some click-throughs. Very important, the click-through to the record of advice, which will drill down into further stuff. But everything is summarized on the second page here and very easy to read. Okay, so the first page, as I said, the detailed record of advice is something to click through on. And the detailed record of advice isn't that long. It's a number of pages, but it covers more details. You know, you can drill down into subsidence and landslip and about the geysers. And importantly, for example, it points out that retaining walls are not ordinarily covered. You need to have all sorts of things done if you are keen on your retaining walls being covered, just for example. Now, the second page of the letter of advice gives the detail. And you'll see that it's very simple to read. So it's the renewal date, the present sum insured, the future sum insured, the monthly premium, what the new premium will be, the frequency, your loss ratio. That's very important. I'm not going to explain that now. You can see here your building sum insured is increased by 6.65%. You can see a little bit of thought went into this from an inflation point of view. It wasn't just the default 10% in this case. And then their premium has changed by 15%. The insurance company have increased the premium a little bit. This is actually quite a good example because it's currently with Santam Direct, and there's 3 other options that we've obtained quotes for. We go to the market every single year for you to check whether your cover is enough, whether it's wide enough, and whether your premium is fair. And we test it and do negotiations in the background. The bottom is our advice. It's not always highlighted, but here we had something important to say. And in this case, we're recommending that the body corporate change from Santam Direct to CIA. Okay. So our advice is very much driven according to the Phase Act, and you can actually see that our record of advice here on the first instance, page 1 of the LOA, deals with the things to the T. And then page 2, the one that I've just shown you now, it's really the financial products that were considered with your quotes, and then the products recommended and an explanation. And there's our recommendation. So if you go to page 2, this document is quite nice because you can actually just photocopy it or scan it or just attach the whole document or combine a file with the minutes of your trustees meeting where you resolve to renew the policy for the forthcoming year as advised by Addsure. Okay, so, just a bit of another example. In this case, the loss ratio was a whopping 1,000% plus, obviously because of a large claim, but you can see here that the building sum insurers increased by 10%, but the premium has increased by nearly 71%, which is rather high. This particular one is still under negotiations, but you can see an important aspect. The other insurers in this case declined to quote. So we'll even pass the letter of advice if we can only get one quote for you, but it's on record that your insurance was declined by the other insurance. Okay, then if you go to the renewal pack, it's got lots of other information in it, and that includes a benefit summary. In other words, you can actually take a look and see how your present cover stacks up against the quotes that we obtained. Okay, so it's really an excellent way of protecting the trustees. It shows that the trustees have taken insurance seriously. The responsibility of insurance advice now rests with the broker, so that the responsibility of making sure that your insurance is correct comes back to me. If we've signed that letter and we've given the advice, the responsibility rests with the broker. Make sure you get your brokers to give you written advice every year with comparisons. Written proof that the insurance was checked for better options, which is good. You can show owners who complain later that you've actually done your homework. Whether another insurer may have covered something, the letter of advice will justify the current cover. Owners can't come back and blame you that you haven't been doing your job properly after a claim has been denied. You can actually show them, look, here's our advice. We followed it to the T. It's a quality letter of advice. And it has all the supporting documents. So whilst it's very easy to read as a 2-pager, there's tremendous amount of documentation per the pyramid that I've shown you. It helps the trustees understand the risks and manage better, and that's actually your duty. We've just made it easy for you. And it shows on record that the insurance is in good hands. Okay. It also protects all the owners. So don't for one moment think that we're only protecting the trustees. In fact, the portfolio manager or managing agency is also covered everybody. So the owners can be assured that the investments are well protected. The owners can check records when they need to. Fit and proper advice removes all doubt about the quality of the insurance. Well-managed insurance means lower premiums, widest cover, everybody benefits. Builds confidence in the trustees and a better trust between owners and management when things are done properly. Owners have access to all the appropriate and correct information. And owners who become trustees can actually track back on past trustees' work, and they can't do any finger pointing if this is all in place. Insurance brokers are accountable for their advice, and their owners have thus got a safety net. So, we've put a lot of effort into our advice process. We've got our systems in place. Every single home owners association or body corporate that insures via Addsure, you get fit and proper advice at this level every single year. All we ask is that this document at the back of your documentation or in the set of documents, if you wouldn't mind ticking a few boxes for us, signing it off and sending it back for our audit purposes. We're pretty proud of the work we do for you, and we like to show our compliance officer that we're doing everything correctly. Okay, so that's a wrap. I hope that was short enough for you.